Welcome to your Gemini horoscopes for the week ending June 1st. That's right, you guys. We are officially halfway through 2024, which is a great time to check in on your 2024 goals. Make sure you're where you want to be. Make sure you're not behind. You're a little bit ahead. That's okay. Checking in is accountability, and it keeps us accountable. And we all need to have accountability on ourselves, because without it, we don't really get very far. So definitely do those check-ins if you choose to do them. Of course, don't do it because I said so. Do it because you want to be successful. The Sun and Venus in a conjunction this week, and starting off the week in a trine with Pluto, which is focused on your day-to-day schedule. And the Sun and Venus, everything is focused on career right now. So actually, this is a really good thing, because the two of them together, working together, you've got the Sun, which is where you shine. You've got Venus, which is where you tend to be the most creative. Pluto is retrograde, which kind of does indicate you don't really have any power over your schedule, but that's probably because this is taking up your schedule, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, especially if you're just getting started on something new. Lots of energy going into that. You want to keep that momentum going as much as possible. Now, as we move towards the end of the week, the Sun and Venus move out of that and move into a square with Saturn. And Saturn's responsibility is all around your relationship. So it kind of calls you out on the carpet. Here you are with this great momentum. You're doing great in terms of your career goals. Everything is great. And somebody around you is like, well, what about me? I mean, there's no time for me, which can be frustrating. I think for intellectual science, especially, it's really frustrating. We don't like anybody coming in and slowing down our momentum, because it's so difficult to get back into that momentum again. But balance is important for everybody. And I think that this is a really good Gemini lesson. Geminis get so sucked into what they're doing that they don't see anything around them. And that's where we tend to get burned out. That's where the typical Gemini, jack of all trades, master of none issue comes in, because you wind up burning yourself out before you're done. And then the person that's like, hey, I need some time, is usually the one that's held responsible for it. So balance is always important. Yes, you don't want to lose your momentum, but you don't want to burn yourself out on it either. And that burnout is definitely going to happen without balance. Now, we also have, drum roll please, Jupiter officially coming into Gemini. And we're going to be having Mercury coming into Gemini next week, but we're not quite there yet. Jupiter is officially coming into Gemini this week, and coming in a grand sextile with Pluto and Neptune, which is focused on your finances. So this is double energy going towards that career. I mean, just a lot of energy going towards your career and your financial goals. Again, there's so much energy going into it. You definitely want to avoid that burnout and make sure that balance is everything. Now, a lot of times, and as an intellectual, I've been tripped up by this as well, so very, very, very many times. And that is, what if, when I'm not sitting in front of my project building it, I think of something and I don't do it right away and I forget? Just jot it down. Take a little notebook around you, because you know you're going to have like 10,000 ideas. Just write that. Take the little notebook with you in a pretty little book and just write down these ideas. That way you can go and revisit them later. I think one of our biggest crutches that we use is the fact that we're afraid that if we don't jump on it right then and there, nothing is ever going to come of it. We won't get that motivation back. Trust me, you can get that motivation back. Even if you don't feel it in the moment, that doesn't mean that it doesn't exist and that it's gone forever. So always having that balance between your work life and your personal life is hard to do, but it's definitely necessary, not just for you, but for the people around you as well. So That's what I have for you guys this week. It's starting to get really, really exciting around here. I'm Melissa Bruce, the Heavy Metal Psychic. I will see you guys next week. And in the meantime, you guys kick some butt and make it a great week. I'll see you next week.